The winners of the 2025 Goodreads Awards have been announced yesterday, actually, at the time I'm filming this, because my days were off of what day I thought it was coming out. So this morning, we're here to do this. And I had a thought on my way back home that I should do something different with this instead of just like reacting to what the winners were. I'm also going to get a 5-star and a 1-star review. So the clips are going to be different. We're going to get all the reactions and then we're going to go find the reviews. Who knows when this video will go up, but hopefully it's fun either way because I think this will be amusing and I hope you do too. Later, me here, after hours of reading some slightly depressing 1-star reviews, I had originally planned to be inserting the reviews as I said who the winners of each book was. So I'm going to go ahead and apologize that there are going to be weird cuts as I made pauses to put the spots in, to put the reviews in, but I don't think it's going to flow right now. So I'm just sorry for the weird cuts. Now, without further ado, let's get into what the winners actually were. Our first one showing is fiction, which of course it would be the Frederick Bachman that won. My Friends by Frederick Bachman. I said that weird. And for historical fiction, we have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Then for mystery thriller, Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. Interesting. In romance, Emily Henry pulled off another win. Well, I say another. Has she won before? Well, I feel one of her books probably has won before. Oh my God. Romantasy. It pulled off the win, and I thought there was such mixed reviews about this one. Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. You got to have 1-star reviews for me on that one. And as predicted by one of your comments, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab won for fantasy. In science fiction, we have The Compound by Aisling Rowley. I don't entirely remember what that one is, but I remember when I saw Angela's from Literature Science Alliance reaction to the awards, she thought this was more of a speculative fiction. In horror, Grady Hendrix won with Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. For the debut novel, we have Alchemized by Sinlin Liu. Yeah, I guess I saw that one coming. Audiobook, though. Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros won the audiobook. And that came out this year, so it's not even the graphic audio that's available yet. But young adult fantasy sci-fi, I mean, should I have predicted this would be the winner? Maybe. Does it make sense? Yes, entirely. Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. Yay. Okay. I'm happy with that one. I'm so happy. For young adult fiction, we have Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. I like the cover. The cover is so cute. In nonfiction, Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. Okay, I can get why this one won the memoir because it's still very recent, so it'd be on people's minds probably and gotten to it. The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie. Then in history and biography, How to Kill a Witch by Zoe. Say the name. Come on, pop it up. No, yes, no. Zoe Vinditosi and Claire Mitchell or Clyde Mitchell. I can't tell if that's an R or an D. I'm going to go with it's an R. Makes way more sense to be Claire.
Many hours later.
Starting us off as our fantasy winner was V.E. Schwab's Bury Your Bones in the Midnight Soil with the 5-star review. Your Honor, I'll never recover. I need 6 books and a movie, thanks. This was written as if someone dug right into my brain and said, what kind of sapphic vampire book do you want to read? This 1-star, should I read the whole thing? They kind of go back and forth on the narrator choice, so obviously they listen to the audiobook, which can drastically change somebody's opinion. Sorry, this is just pointless. Everyone was pissing me off, and the only thing it had going for it was the beautiful writing. I've never come so close to DNFing. I really didn't like the narrators for Alice and Charlotte. It might have been better if Julia Whalen narrated the whole story. Moving to our sci-fi winner, The Compound by Aisling Rowell. The 5 stars start with, My favorite thing in this book is the feeling of unease while reading, when you can tell that something is really wrong, but you can't quite put your finger on what. And this story neither confirms nor denies it. This book was the perfect example of that. Love Island plus Hunger Games plus Big Brother plus Lord of the Flies equals the compound. And Love Island plus Lord of the Flies was what so many of the reviewers said. Then there are the 1 stars. This could have been an email. I thought this sounded intriguing, so I jumped in, but I quickly realized it was nothing like what I'd imagined. I thought it might be a bit science fiction-y, what with the world apparently being hit by catastrophe, a war of some kind, or maybe thriller or even horror-ish, given what could go down in a setup like this. But it just felt like a whole load of nothing, a literary fiction commentary on the times we live in, perhaps. So see, this I think encapsulates what most of us think of, like seeing this and even reading the review is like, this doesn't sound like it belongs as a sci-fi. Our romantasy and audiobook winner was Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. So that was another reason why I decided not to put the reviews in between the announcements because this one won 2 things. All right, let's get into the interesting ones that these are sure to be. The 5-star review for this one. Okay, it's been 20 hours since I finished, and I legitimately haven't stopped thinking about it for a singular minute. So I'll do my best to formulate some spoiler free thoughts. The 1-star review. My Hoover has more chemistry with fallen hairs behind the couch than Violet and Zayden. I'm going to pretend I never read it. Please play along. Our romance winner was A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. 5-star review. Oh my God. Not my favorite Emily Henry book, but this is the best one she's ever written in terms of storyline, shock value, and pulling in my interest. She had me from the minute I read the first line. Let me tell you everything. Spoilers not included because I know a lot of people still haven't yet to read this because this was very early in September. I like this one because she pointed out that while this wasn't her favorite book, it was still so good in its other aspects, and she still gave it 5 stars. What in the Evelyn Hugo was this masterpiece? And this one is important because our first 1-star review says a great big beautiful flop. Trying to be Evelyn Hugo, what you doing? Jesus, this was not my cup of tea. Not romantic at all, and the story within a story was so boring. It had TJR vibes, but again, the interview bits were dull. Also, if this wins the Choice Awards this year, I'll never forgive y'all. That's why I had to include this one. Our mystery thriller of Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. The 5-star review, jaw on the floor shocks, eyebrow raising wows, psychotically smiled through how dark and unique this was. My experience in 3 lines, stellar. 6 lines now, 5 stars. Want to give it more because clap. Our 1-star review though, sometimes I wish I didn't know how to read. I can feel that. I can feel that. Horror winner was Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. 5-star. This book wrecked me. This is not your typical Hendrix horror novel. Forget the laughs. This one goes straight for the heart. Prepare to have your heart shattered. This beautifully written, profoundly moving story is a heavily and emotional read that left me absolutely sobbing, beautiful and unforgettable. I did an evil thing to be put in here, and I'm going to have to do an evil thing to get out. Our first 1-star review, Snap, Crackle, Pop. This book is a flop. In 2 scenes, things fall from the sky. Then there are 3 birthing scenes, none of which are remotely scary. In 500 pages, you get stick figures with no characterization running around doing nothing. What an effing joke of a book. This is some YA BS. Would not recommend this at all if you actually want any horror, any witches. The only reason I finished this book was because the story was so empty it was easy to read in one ear, out the other. Our fiction winner was My Friends by Frederick Bachman. Yes, there are some quirky, brow raising phrases in this novel and more than one cliche, but I don't care. The heart of this author shines through on every page. If more of us ended our day with I love you and I believe in you and but, we'd live a life with fewer regrets. The 1-star review. Add this to the graveyard of books I was very excited to read this year, but was wholly disappointed by. Not sure when it became fashionable to literally beat the reader over the head with a hammer labeled emotions, feel them, but it needs to stop immediately. This one, the 1-star reviews were, oh, wow. There was a lot of DNFing of this one at various points. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, 5-star. Had to sit and stare at the wall while dissociating and crying for a while after. The 1-star review, Houston, this book is trash. I find it hard to believe that this was the same author who wrote The 7 Husbands of Emily Hugo and Daisy Jones. Literally can't believe it. This book was so bad in so many ways, and I'm really sad about this. a lot of people said that this didn't sound like her. This comes up in another one of the genre winners, too. On to YA fiction, Fake Skating by Lynn Painter, the 5-star review. Another amazing read. Thank you, Lynn Painter, for this book. I fell in love on page 1. Truly, the characters were just amazing, and the plot was so simple, yet couldn't put the book down still. Dare I say it was better than the movies. Wes has some serious competition. If you want a cute winter read, I say go ahead and read this. I loved it and have nothing bad to say about it. But the 1-star, my inability to DNF books remains my greatest flaw. The only reason that I am registering this is so that I have a shot at reaching my reading goal. This sucked so hard, I nearly threw my Kindle across the room twice from the wave of cringe that came over me. How is this coming from the same woman who wrote Better Than the Movies? Cannot make up my mind if that book was a fluke or all the others that followed. The YA sci-fi and fantasy winner was Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. And reading the 1-star reviews of this hurt. The 5-star review, Suzanne Collins gently kissed this brick before she launched it at 100 miles per hour at my head. So many of them were like that, or started with quotes from it, or even just like about how she destroyed us with this book. The 1-star review, enough already with the made up songs. Fair. That was fair. All the people complaining about the songs. Super fair. The other 1-star review is never ending cameo, self gratifying, awful, terrible. No way Suzanne Collins wrote this. Has she been hit with a bus since the last book? Fair on the cameos. It did seem like maybe we squeezed a lot of them in for nostalgia purposes. But yeah, but I did. I truly loved all of them. Did they make a whole lot of sense sometimes? No. Nonfiction, Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. The 5-star review for this one. Only John Green could make me so excited for a book about tuberculosis and absolutely certain that I'll be crying tears of hope and have restored faith in humanity by the end of it. The 1-star review for this one, though, is History of Medicine / young adult author crossover I should have known I didn't need. Then we have Memoir. Yes, I said it right on third try. The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie. 5 stars. I usually don't rate nonfiction books, but this was thought-provoking, heartbreaking, haunting story about an unbelievably strong woman who overcame her circumstances, and anything less than 5 stars seems crazy to me. My heart hurt so many times in this book. My eyes welled up with tears repeatedly throughout. The 1-star I picked because it hit the nail kind of on the head of what I would feel of this too, probably. The last sentence is what a lot of them said. The author could use some time and distance for reflection from the events. The writing was wooden and read like a college essay. Everything came out like to a head earlier this year with her mother. So, for history and biography, we have How to Kill a Witch by Claire Mitchell and Zoe Bendizzo. 5 stars. Well, that was a horrifying historical journey. Thank you for looping it around to the present, ladies, she says with sarcasm and sorrow. One of the most interesting books I've read in a long time, historically fascinating and with huge contemporary relevance for women today. So there was only 3 1-star reviews, and 2 of them were about the AI artwork used at the end of the book. So know that going in. Our debut novel winner was Alchemized by Sinlin Yu. 5 stars. Alchemized is the reason I love fiction. Every once in a while, a story comes along that grips you from the very first page. You just know with absolute certainty that you won't be the same person by the time you finish it. Some have criticized those of us who hold this story in such high regard, assuming we're romanticizing it or placing it on an undeserved pedestal. But I think they miss the point entirely. At its core, Alchemized is a story about war. Let's be clear about that. It's fiction, yes. The 1-star review, which of course most of the 1-star reviews were just of the sort that everybody's probably seen. This one, though. This one is actually about, I don't know which is worse, the writing or the plot. Painstakingly long for no reason. This could have been a short story with the war that keeps telling you about, but never really shows you. The rest is just a love story that goes back and forth between, oh no, I'm hurt, heal me. Now I'm hurt, you heal me. Heal me again. Now you'll heal me again. I'm yours too. I'm yours forever. I'm yours forever too. Oh no, I'm hurt again. Heal me. Now you heal me. I'm yours forever. The end. That is all of the Goodreads 2025 Choice Awards winners. Were any of the ones that you voted for that made it all the way to the end? I have to actually be perfectly honest that I missed the deadline for the final round of voting. After I did the first video, I meant to come back, and I know there was like over a week. And I even looked at it on the 29th or 30th, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to vote. And then it slipped my mind. it slipped my mind, so I didn't help in the picking of the final round at all. My vote was not counted. Not that it would have, tipped the scales in any regard, I'm sure. So there's another one now that I do want to go look up. Um, another award thing I might try to look up for these. I really hope you enjoyed this video that we did, though. I'm debating, should some of these be like in my 2026 TBR, like a challenge kind of to read one of the Goodreads category winners a month? I mean, some of them I have, one of them I've read. I only read Sunrise on the Reaping. 4, 8, 12, 15. Okay, so there's more than one book a month. I guess if I take out that one, which seems unfair to the experiment of let's read a book of the winners a month. I don't know, guys. Tell me in the comments down below if I should try to read through the Goodreads winners next year to see if I agree with the picks or not. If that would be a fun experiment that you guys would want to do. Okay, I hope you are having a fabulous day, finding something great to read, that you enjoyed this video, and you will come back for more. And I will see you in the next one.